Chris Mystery cleaning windows of the Fylde Coast, except we're not on the Fylde Coast today. We're in Preston, we're on the docks cleaning a commercial building which is for a charity, a counselling charity, which is yeah, so it's a nice change of pace today. So we've got I've got this commercial job here, I've got a caravan park and 2 houses, and the other van is out with Andy, and they're doing well, he's doing the residential roundup in Blackpool. So yeah, I want to talk a bit about commercial jobs. So your main bread and butter, certainly it is for us, for cleaning windows, is the residential round. That will, you know, yield a sort of fortnightly, for us it will be a fortnightly or a 4-weekly cleaning service for the windows on a regular basis. Some commercial jobs further afield, like this one, which I'm going to show you shortly, that will, you know, that we do this this building of this size, do it every 8 weeks. In normal circumstances, obviously because of COVID-19, we've not been here for approximately, I think it's about 3 or 4 months, so it's been a while. So obviously they'll be pretty honking, to be fair. So, but yeah, I wanted to talk a bit about pricing and stuff like that. So your standard sort of house, if there is such a thing, so we have a minimum pricing for any job, which is £5. You know, for your standard regular window cleaning, that, you know, standard price is £5. As a standard, generally front and back is £10, but we add on things like if there are problems with access to the back of the property, if there are you know, if I've got to go massively out of my way, or my lads have got to go massively out of the way to sort of clean the windows, then we charge appropriately. So for example, your standard terrace for a front is £5. So, you know, because it means we can clean the front pretty easy. In a row of 10 houses, we can clean every single one from the front, not a problem. And then maybe 1 or 2 will maybe want the backs doing as well. Now, is it worth, you know, some people argue, you know, some other window cleaners that I know in the local area, they don't touch the back of terraces because of access. Now, we'll do it, but the customer has to pay that little bit extra. So if we've got to run off 100 metres worth of line to go right around the property, then, you know, that's added time. That's, you know, we've got to have a key for, usually have a key for like a fly tipping gate at the back of alleys and stuff like that. So we have to get keys copied, we have to hold keys, you know, we have to, you know, sort of unlock and let ourselves in, and, you know, and assuming you've done all that, hopefully it's been left clear, because obviously it's where people put their bins, because it's a back alley and it's out of sight, almost out of mind. People feel propensity to put things like, you know, couches that they've got a replacement couch, but the old one's been put in the alley and it's been left there to rot, sort of thing. So then we've got to move around that and run our line around it. People tend to let their dogs out into these alleys, so there's usually crap out, you know, dog crap everywhere, and obviously we've got to pull our line through all that. So obviously when you take these things into consideration, you have to ask yourself, is what you're charging appropriate? And for us, there is one terrace where we charge them £20 to do front and back, whereas we don't normally do the front, but we'll charge them £20 because we've got to, you know, just go right the way around the property, and obviously encounter all these other factors. So the honest answer is, as long as you do a good job and you charge appropriately, the deciding factor in people being prepared to pay what they pay is your ability to do a good job. Now, is everybody going to pay your prices? Probably not, but that's probably a good thing, because it does get rid of time wasters. So good strategic pricing can price out people that will generally waste your time. So yeah, domestic housing is priced normally. It starts at £5. Can probably go as high as 30 for for ones that are sizable properties. There is actually there is a couple of caveats to that. There are some mansions, if you like 6-7 bed mansions that we do, and we'll charge more than 30 quid. So I'm talking general houses, for that are the mainstay. So your semi-detached, your terraces, your detached houses, sort of average size houses. Again, it's quite hard to say what an average size house is, because they can vary from the north of England to the south of England to Scotland to Wales. Houses can vary in sizes based on the age. So just make sure you price your houses appropriately, and you'll not fall into the trap that a lot of window cleaners do, which is to get lots and lots of work for really, really cheap prices, and you save yourself being a busy fool. Nobody wants to be a busy fool. So commercial jobs like this, and I'll show you. I'll hop out in a minute and I'll walk you around the building, give you an idea of what we charge. So for commercial buildings, again, we do treat them to some extent a bit like houses. Everything's a minimum price. So if it's a shop front, we're not going to charge them 50 quid. We'll charge them, maybe if they want both sides doing, probably anywhere between 10 and 12 quid, depending on how many pieces of glass they've got. And so with buildings like this, you'll see now is that we used to do the inside as well, but obviously to keep costs down for the business during these turbulent times, if you like, and I know obviously the fact that we have been prohibited to some extent going into buildings up until now. We've knocked the price down a little bit because we're only doing the outside, whereas the inside would probably take, I'd need 2 people to do it. So one guy would do the outside, one guy would beetle around the inside, and we'll just go from there. So bear with me, we'll go for a bit of a wander and I'll do a talk through of how I priced up this job. So yeah. Okay, so you've seen there, just having a quick walk around there. It's a sizable building. There's enough. There's quite a lot of rooms on the inside of there, and so for this building that we charge on the outside, it's 60 quid, which is quite cheap, to be fair, for a building this size. And we've got a good relationship with the charity that lives here. That resides within the building, so we give them a good price. And but the other selling point really is we were in talks pre-COVID with this building next door as well. So if we had managed to get this building and the other one inside and out, it's 160 quid. Now, not all of that is profit. Not all of that is what I take home. There is fuel, because this is in Preston. This is about half an hour's drive from where I live. So there is fuel to take into consideration. If you're working indoors, I tend to bring someone with me to give me a hand. Purely from an efficiency point of view, you could spend 3-4 hours doing all this on your own, but in all honesty, it's better to have someone to give you a hand. Jobs this big, you could probably miss a few things. And it's always good to have another pair of eyes to sort of pull you up if you've made a mistake. So But yeah, so from that, if it was 160 quid, say to do these 2 buildings inside and out, I would probably, I'd pay the guy that came with me, you know, for these 2 jobs, 60 quid, so 100 quid that I take home. So then you minus off your fuel, which is about, you know, 20 quid, and then I always put money to one side for maybe 25% to one side, and you've got things like your tax, you've got your things like your replacement parts and all your nozzles and all this sort of stuff, and brushes which need replacing every sort of 6 months. So you know, that's generally how I price these commercial jobs. It's not rocket science, it's just, you just got to price it so that you're not, you know, so from this here, maybe, you know, my take home is probably 75 quid from these 2 jobs, which with 2 people will probably take you about, both of them, probably 2 hours to do, which is not bad. So and then obviously you've got the other stuff that we'll do on the way home. So I've got other houses to do today, so I'm looking at, you know, a good take home today. But it's basically, when you quote a price, you want to quote so that you are not doing yourself an injustice. You're not leaving yourself short of cash, and you know, you have to ensure that you're putting money to one side for contingencies and for the old tax man as well. So like I say, it's you know, you have to be a bit bold when it comes to sort of quoting commercial properties, and I would sooner, you know, I would sooner quote the customer a little bit more than normal, so that I can guarantee myself in my mind, I can guarantee that enough money will be put to one side for tax, for spare parts, for fuel, for wages and stuff like that. Because if you do it really, really, really cheap, then what's going to happen is you're only going to be working for free, and yeah, no one wants that. So I hope that was useful, and I'm going to watch them get cracking with this, and yeah, I'll see you all very soon. Take care.